Anderson.
No confidence problem there, huh, Mike?
That's what he's all about. I called him an incredible self-promoter.
Nothing wrong with that. Got a little bit of an attitude about him, Mr. Anderson. I personally like that about this cat. I did say cat.
The cockiness, the confidence of Mr. Anderson. Will it be enough to have him be the #1 contender after winning the 8-card stud tournament?
Well, I guess Mick didn't get the upgrade. God.
Mick Foley, that is quite a luxury ride. He's arrived at the impact zone. You'll recall last week, Hulk Hogan said to Foley, either work things out with Eric Bischoff or walk away. The deadline from Eric Bischoff. He told Mick, you've got 1 week to figure it out. We'll get Foley's answer tonight. Later tonight, Kurt Angle competes in an 8-card stud qualifier. To get comments from the Olympic gold medalist about his match versus Tomko, let's go to Christy Hemme.
Kurt Angle, tonight you have a qualifier against Tomko.
I'm not worried about Tomko. I'll take care of him real quick. What I want to talk about is Hulk Hogan. A man that can look me in the eyes and shake my hand, and then have his jackals, Scott Hall and Six-Pac, attack me from behind. This is a man that's supposed to be leading TNA. A man that's going to take us to the promised land.
Wait, you're not saying that Hulk Hogan had Scott Hall and Six-Pac attack you last week?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Because that's who Hulk Hogan is. That's right. He's finally showing his true colors. But it ends tonight. Hogan, screw me once, shame on me. You screw me twice, shame on you. Expect a visit from me tonight. And I'm coming with a really bad attitude.
Taz, are Kurt Angle's feelings about Hulk Hogan warranted?
I don't know, Mike. I really don't. But I do know those are pretty strong accusations by Angle.
It's Mike Tenay. It's Taz. We welcome you back to Impact. And ladies and gentlemen, here is the lineup for tonight that is loaded with TNA champions in action.
Well, tonight we are going to see Tara defend her knockout title against former knockout champion Angelina Love.
New TNA Tag Team Champions, Matt Morgan and Hernandez. They will put the titles on the line against the most decorated, the most celebrated team in wrestling history, Team 3D.
And check this out, this is big. The TNA World Heavyweight Champion AJ Styles will compete tonight against the Pope. How intriguing is that? Well, talk about intriguing.
Please welcome to the Impact Zone, Eric Bischoff!
You'll recall it was 2 weeks ago that Eric Bischoff, his face a bloody mess, came to the ring and fired Mick Foley. He claimed that Foley assaulted him behind closed doors, and after Foley denied responsibility, Hulk Hogan told Mick, work it out with Eric Bischoff or walk out of TNA.
No, it seems to me in this new regime of Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff, it kind of seems like Hulk Hogan is the cooler head, and Eric Bischoff, well, to be quite frank, he's kind of the hothead.
It is so good to be here one more time. But you know, last week Hulk Hogan made it really clear to Mick Foley that he had to get on the same page with yours truly. And Mick made it clear to me that he was just not interested in doing that. That was very disappointing. And it's also a decision, Mick Foley, that's going to cost you dearly.
From the very moment that Eric Bischoff set foot in TNA, Mick Foley was outspoken that he would never work with Eric. Bischoff has set the deadline of tonight for Foley to fall in line or else. Is this like my way or the highway?
It kind of seems that way, but look at Mick Foley's face when he walked out here. Mick doesn't seem to be in too good of a mood.
reputation inside this business is that there's something wrong up here. Not because I was willing to do things with my body that no human being should have to endure. Not because I was willing to pay any price. But because I seem deep down to like just about everybody. People would try to get me to say a disparaging word about people in this business, luminaries like Marcus Bagwell. Paul Heyman. Jim Hellwig. The Warrior. And the truth is, deep down, I don't dislike anybody. But you are the exception that proves the rule, because I hate your stinking guts. You slick little hustler. You are the polar opposite of everything I am, the antithesis of everything that I believe in. Because while I love this business, would have given anything, and did practically give everything to be part of it, you came in from the outside, a salesman, an announcer, and the worst one in history at that.
I guess Mick never heard of Mike Adamle.
And then an executive who weaseled his way to power specifically because he was somebody who did not embody old school pro wrestling. You know, Eric, perhaps I'm not actually old school. Maybe I went to the school that burned down before they built the old school, because I can't stand you.
Well, Mick, you may not be able to stand me. You've made that abundantly clear. But this isn't about you and me. This is about your decision. Your decision,
But
Mick.
my decision is exactly about me and you, and it's about other people too. You can mess around with my life. Hey, you know what? I love working here. I love showing up at the impact zone. I love being part of TNA. But I've always prepared myself for a worst case scenario, which is why at age 22, when other wrestlers lack the ability to look into the future, I was saving every dime. I was sleeping on the cot at the Red Room when I was the WWE champion. I drive a piece of crap minivan, and I do it because I don't want to have to answer to idiots like you. And I won't. But then, hey, no. You hear me out. Because I marked down 2 words on my hand. 2 names, JB and Abyss. How dare you? Who the hell are you to mess around with the lives of other people? You think JB is just a guy with the buggy eyes who holds a microphone?
Yeah.
Do you know how many hats this guy wears backstage at TNA? The Impact Zone would shut down without JB. And the fact that you don't know that, and more importantly, that you don't care to know that, shows how little interest you have into knowing what actually makes TNA tick.
Well, let me tell you what makes me tick, Mick. What makes me tick is the power and the control. And I've listened to you babble out here half the night, so you listen to me. You don't want to get on the same page with me? That's fine. That's your choice. I respect that, Mick. I really do. But what's unfortunate is that since you aren't going to get on the same page with me,